Oh, okay, there I go. Alrighty, hi y'all. This is KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, Kansas City's global radio station, our global community radio station. And this is The Truth Be Told with myself, T Baby. If you have a business or an event that you would like sponsored here on KUAW, shoot us an email at kuaw985@gmail.com. We do check our email, so definitely shoot us an email because we are here for you. We are Kansas City's global community radio station. So if you have a business or an event, send it to our email so we can help get the word out. If you would like to call in anytime during this live broadcast, you can give us a call at 816-599-6893. That number is scrolling at the top of your screen, I believe. So give us a call. We are available 24/7 on the World Wide Web. That's www.kuaw.org. If you're watching me live on Facebook, hey, and if you're listening to me over via the website or tune in or radio, however, and you'd like to watch me live on Facebook, hop over to our Facebook page, KUAW-LPFM 98.5. Make sure to like and share the page with all your family and friends so that they have access to all the content that we have here via KUAW. And then again, we are available 24/7 across all social media platforms, Twitter, YouTube. Our YouTube is live as well. So if you know someone that doesn't have a Facebook or something like that and you want them tuned into the show, they can watch it live on Facebook. If you want to go back and share with someone after watching it live, I said Facebook, but YouTube, I mean YouTube. So all those, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, tune in, is KUAW across the board. So yes, I want to jump right into it. I normally like to shoot off a couple of topics just to give people time to like and share. Make sure you like and share the video so that all your family and friends can tune into the conversation that we're going to have today. This is a conversation, so I feed off of you guys' comments, so please comment back to me. I don't have my glasses today, so I might misread it or miss it a little bit, but I'm going to try to keep it all together here today. Okay, so first, I want to start off with the protests that have been going on. You know, there's been a lot of protests across the United States, Black Lives Matter. So particularly in St. Louis, there was a protest to the mayor's office. Now, first, before we get into the protest to the mayor's house, okay, let's talk about what the mayor of St. Louis did, okay? The mayor of St. Louis did a press conference releasing the names and addresses of citizens who were calling for the defundment of the police station, the police department. Okay, and she went on a live news broadcast thing or whatever and released these names and addresses, which I believe is against the law. I forget the actual law that it is, but I'm pretty sure she's breaking a law. And if you're familiar with it, drop it in the comments. If you're familiar with this story, let me know what you think. So yeah, she did this. And so my question is, why would she, what was her intent behind releasing these names and addresses? What was she trying to accomplish by releasing these names and addresses of these individuals who were calling for the defundment of the police department? So if you are, you put your name out there, you speak out there, you know, we have activists and everything. With social media these days, there's a lot of ways to be targeted for the things that, for your opinion, for your freedom of speech, for the way that you feel about things, for the things that you think and say. With social media these days, it's so easy to track and be judged upon it, and when looking for a job, credit, anything like that. So you have to definitely be careful with the things that you say. But my thing of it is why is there no action taken behind this? Because we know that that her intent behind we can't say that we know, but we can assume that her intent behind releasing these names and addresses of these people was for someone to intimidate them, someone to you know, for them to be put in a spotlight, you know, so anybody that anyone who doesn't agree with the defundment of the police department especially police officers. Now you have a target on your back. So you just basically put a bullseye on these people. There's no way that shouldn't have been cause for impeachment that day. You know what I'm saying? As soon as she did it, that should have been a cause for impeachment. There's no way that should have been let go or just let pass over or anything like that, you know? So now that sparked protests, you know, the whole Black Lives Matter movement and everything. And there's a lot of things going on with the Black Lives Matter movement. A lot of people are just jumping on the bandwagon of Black Lives Matter. But the organization itself, there's a lot of things that go into it. We may get into it. We probably won't. It's not on my list. So we might tackle it next week or something like that. But so it sparked a protest. So there was all these protests, and they were going to have a protest, and they were going to march to the mayor's house. Well, on the way to the mayor's house, they passed the house of Mr. and Mrs. Let me make sure I get the name right. I'm doing the same thing that she doing, releasing names. But so by the house of Mr. and Mrs. McCloskey, which are both lawyers. And they decided to pull guns. One of them was an AR-15, which I really thought that, you know, we were against these AR-15s. And yes, these are Europeans. These are the same ones that children probably have access to these guns shooting up schools. I'm just saying, I didn't even think people were supposed to have these guns, but okay. And a handgun, you know, and they were pointing them at the protesters and everything like that. There was a lot of speculation behind the protest. They were saying that it was, they were saying that they had broke the fence, they were trespassing, all this other kind of stuff, which I'm pretty sure there was a no trespassing sign probably in this neighborhood. I mean, the mayor lives there, you know what I'm saying? It probably is a gated community. The video, so all those things was going on. The news, and they didn't give these people platforms to speak and say how they were afraid for their lives. Ain't that can you put Facebook on my screen? I'm sorry. But ain't that the line, you know, everyone used? Like, they feared for their lives, you know what I'm saying? So they feared for their lives, so they took upon themselves to pull these guns on these people. But if you fear for your lives, if no one has a gun pointing at you, how do you feel for your life? If no one is walking up on your property and towards your property, towards your front door, towards you personally, how do you feel? How is your life threatened? You know what I'm saying? These are the type of things that need to be prosecuted. This stuff is on live video. The video itself shows the people opening the gate. The gate was not broken. They were opening the gate. Hey, Mrs. Walker. They were opening the gate, and you know, like, and they walked through. The gate was still intact and everything like that. Now, there was pictures afterwards that the gate was broken and everything like that, but who's to say that these people didn't go out there and break their own gate just to have a story? We know that with all these protests and riots and everything like that, we're not the ones out there breaking windows and placing stacks of bricks out there and igniting and agitating and initiating these type of things. That's not even in our DNA. The thing about it is we are literally out here saying, stop killing us. And the other side of it wants to turn it into like basically a circus. It's like they want to Islam, Brother Johnson Bay. It's like they want to turn it into a circus. They're trying to turn it into things that it's not, just like they do with our people. You know what I'm saying? They do the same thing with our people. Not saying that a lot of us don't fit the description, but again, most of us do not. You know what I'm saying? It's not in our nature, but we are peaceful people by nature. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, that's why we're not out here seeking revenge for all the things that's been done against us, for all the transgressions against us. That's why we're not out here seeking revenge. I like to know how anyone got into the gated community. The gate, they opened the gate. That's on the video. There is a video that was from the protesters, the people in the crowd or whatever. You can see it when they walk up under it. I could post it on my Facebook page a little bit later today. But yes, it's on the video. The gate was open. The gate was not locked, and they just opened the gate. You know what I'm saying? And walked through the gate. So yeah, it's just, I even if now, because at first I was like, you have the right to protect your home. Okay, if someone is terrorizing your home, like you saying, breaking down the property, things like that, tearing up your house, your hard-earned money that you pay for, you have the right. And I feel like that goes for anyone, you know what I'm saying, no matter what race, or well, it's only one race, but no matter what hue of skin, no matter what profession or anything like that, you have the right to protect your property. You have the right to protect yourself. You have the right to protect your children, your family. You have the right to protect anything and everything pertaining to your prosperity. That is your right given to you in the Constitution. So therefore, I definitely understand that. That's what I'm saying, if it was a point where these people were terrorizing these people's home, but when that was said, and I was like, okay, all right, they shouldn't have been doing that. They don't need to be acting like that. Like, yeah, they had every right to pull their guns. That's exactly how I thought until I seen the video. And that's the way the news and propaganda works. It has us thinking one thing that's very opposite of the truth. It's one's perception of what is going on instead of the facts of the situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of things that's going on with this whole coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, and a lot of times when people start talking about the coronavirus or whatever, a lot of people saying, oh, it's real, you need to just do this, and need to just do that, and all this other kind of stuff. I am not saying that the virus is not real. However, I am saying that there is a lot of propaganda behind and surrounding the virus to instill fear and submission into the American citizens. Point blank, period. Now, let's talk about, before we even get into the mass ordinance, I believe that's the way that's said, but let's talk about Mayor Quentin Lucas, okay? First of all, for anyone that's out there watching that may have, anyone that may come in contact with someone that's kind of, I guess, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it, that's racist or anything like that, the ties to the KKK, loves the Confederate flag, all that kind of stuff or whatever, threatening the mayor of Kansas City is not a smart idea. You know what I'm saying? There is a lot of people supporting Mayor Quentin Lucas. There's a lot of our people that's backing Mayor Quentin Lucas. You cannot come at the mayor and tell him you want to see him swinging from a tree. Like, what? With everything that's going on today, you want to use racial slurs? How is this even? That's just like, if you were to talk about, let me see. I feel like if he was a European man, that this would have been more investigated into who sent the messages, because it was sent over Facebook. So there's not like you can't find out who sent the message. And there would have been some type of prosecution that went into that, because that is a hate crime, one, and it is I don't think you could just really just flat out threatening people. Like, I really thought it was against the law to tell somebody that I'm gonna kill you, and then they supposed to just wait around for it to happen. Like, no, there needs to be something done with that. And I don't feel like that he deserved that, even if I don't agree with being ordered to do anything, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like he didn't deserve that backlash over wearing a mask, and he's really just trying to protect the Kansas City people and keep businesses open, because it's like people complain when they had to stay at home. So now they lift the at home order, and now they like, okay, well, y'all can go out, but you should wear a mask. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was doing that, and now they saying that now you have to wear a mask. Like, I went to the store today. I got my mask right here, okay? I went to the store today, and they told me that I couldn't come in the store, and they couldn't service me if I didn't have on a mask, because I didn't have on the mask, you know what I'm saying? But I do carry one, because I can put on this mask to go into a gas station, get my gas, get whatever I need or whatever, and take it back off when I get in my car. I really don't have no problem with that. I can do that, but that's my choice. I'm choosing to do that just because if it makes everyone else around me more comfortable, then I'm okay with doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to start thinking about others in the situation. There are some people that doesn't have a clear understanding, that don't really know the power within them. See, I know a lot of people that's saying, because according to ADA, which is law, you can't really force anyone with a disability to do all these other kind of things. So now people are saying, well, I got a disability, so you just gonna claim something. That's how the law of attraction works. I'm not claiming no disability. I'm not claiming, I'm not even claiming the sickness. That's really the whole thing with the mask with me. It's like, I don't know, I'm not even trying to claim that I have this sickness. I'm not living my life in fear. I'm not falling into that. But a lot of people don't have that understanding, or have that willpower, have that freedom of choice to really, you know what I'm saying, like, think of their own. And I ain't trying to be rude or anything like that, but a lot of people are sheep. You know what I'm saying? They follow whatever, because one thing with the ordinance that I was looking for really is the actual ordinance. Like, where is the law? Where is it written? Where can I read it? Because the only thing I have been seeing is news stations reporting it. Now, we already know news stations. We already know how news stations go. News stations do not have to report the truth. You know what I'm saying? And anything, we live in America, anything that is written and is that you have to do or anything like that is written in law. So therefore, if there is no actual law, you know what I'm saying, then it's like you're really just following along with it, what everyone is saying. Another thing, and y'all let me know what y'all think of what y'all, everything that's going on, like, around it, surrounding this situation. Another thing with me is that when it started off, the mask wasn't even doing anything. It says right on the box of those little blue masks that they're selling in the gas station and everything like that, it says does not prevent the spread of coronavirus. It says that right on the box. Then you got these cloth masks, and I'm thinking, like, if it's a virus, like, how can it not get through this mask? Like, you know what I'm saying? If a fart can get through jeans, I'm sure a virus can get through this mask, this fabric, you know what I'm saying? And then I don't think there's a law to wear a mask. Did you see the video I sent you this morning? I did see the video that you sent me this morning. And I don't think I watched the entire video because I was at work, but I am going to go back and take a look at that. But I do appreciate, you tagging me in that video. But yeah, so it's like, you said I don't think it's a law, and I don't either. I think that they're just saying it, you know what I'm saying, just to get to people to do what it is that they want them to do. And we talk about, okay, well, cases are going up. I think I kind of spoke on this last week or whatever, but to me, cases are going up because more people are getting tested. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't even have to have symptoms right now. All you have to do is go in there and say, I would like a coronavirus test, and they will give you one, And so then I seen an article, and I fact checked it and everything, that was in Atlanta. And a guy tested positive and first positive and then negative for coronavirus within 4 hours of the test, of each test. You know what I'm saying? So now we looking at all these rapid tests that's giving all these results, that's driving up these numbers and everything like that or whatever. And you mean to tell me that they can be giving false positives and false negatives? Like, to me, it's like, how can you really put your trust in that? How can you really put your and not necessarily trust, but I don't know. You guys got to talk to me. Y'all got to talk to me. Let me know what y'all think or whatever, because it's like, if you don't want to wear the mask, people saying, oh, you're just being selfish. You don't know this, doing all this other, like, and then I really feel like it takes away the freedom of choice. You know what I mean? It's like, I should be able to choose if this is something that I want to do or if I don't want to do, and it's like, I shouldn't be forced to have to do anything, really. In my opinion, I don't feel like you should have to be forced to do anything. But like I said, if businesses want to make it mandatory that you wear these masks and everything, and they don't want to serve you, they have the right to refuse business, you know what I'm saying, to anyone that, you know, as their establishment, they have the right to refuse business to you. So if they choose that you not having on a mask, they're gonna refuse business to you, then I guess that's just what it is. It's either if you want to support them and shop there, you're gonna have to put on a mask, or you're gonna have to keep going down the street until you find a gas station that ain't gonna require you to wear the mask, you know. And then so I had made a status too. I want to read some of the responses off of my status, because there was a lot of people that commented on the post you were tagging. I can't believe he was threatened. How disheartening. Exactly. The person can be tracked. Yes, he definitely was kind of. I didn't even see you on here. You must have been on another thing. I didn't see those. But definitely, yes, I couldn't believe that he was threatened either. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, and then in the way he was threatened, I was just like, you know, our people, we have to do better. We definitely have to do better. So let me see. I want to establish this. What is this? American Standard 2009. COVID, this momentum. Okay. So, you know, I had asked a question about the mask, and then it was some people saying that people don't listen, so they should just shut everything back down. Now, as far as shutting everything back down, it's just like, it's crazy to me, because it was like we were told so many things by the CDC. You know what I'm saying? Like the CDC, once everything had happened, blew up, you know, real big, like in March or whatever, you know, they came out and said, well, it doesn't spread that easily. Oh, you doesn't need masks, and this and that. It doesn't travel that far in the air. You know what I'm saying? They came through and they said all these things. And then they also said that the virus couldn't survive, and I believe it was 90-degree weather. It's 92 degrees outside. Why am I required to walk around with a mask? So there are certain things that have been told to us in the it's like when you're told so much different information within so many months and within a short time frame of each other, then it's like you question what everything that it is that they're telling you at this point. And then if you don't question it, then I would consider you a sheep. But if you really been following it and looking at everything that they be saying, and then the contradictions that they have been doing, I feel like if it's really this dangerous where you have to make it mandatory that I wear a mask everywhere I go in public, then somebody at the CDC needs to be fired, because they gave a lot of misinformation. They didn't know what they were talking about. They didn't advise the United States, whoever is making all these decisions. They didn't advise you guys in the right direction, and they don't need their job. Obviously, they can't do it. Or it's a bunch of propaganda, and there's an objective behind it. That objective is yet to be seen. We don't know what that is, but all I can say is that it reminds me of 1918, well, the whole thing with the Spanish flu. It reminds me of the Tuskegee Project, when they told you they were giving you vaccination for syphilis, and they were actually injecting people with syphilis and HIV. Let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, you get a little skeptical when all these things, especially when you got Bill Gates, a computer engineer that didn't even finish college. If Bill Gates, and I'm saying if because I don't know this, I don't know for a fact. I could Google it, but I don't really feel like it right now. If Bill Gates is even, if he actually has degrees now at this point, but I'm pretty sure they were honorary, and he probably bought them because he bought a building in the computer technology portion of the school. You know what I'm saying? And because I know for a fact that before he became who he was, he did not finish college. You know what I'm saying? And so, because it's a whole big thing with him, Russell Simmons, Warren Buffett, all these people, you know, so, and about higher education. So, you telling me this person with a computer engineer or whatever that designs, programming and everything, and then came up with this vaccination that he wants for everyone, but then he gonna tell you that it should be tested on quote unquote black people first. Him and his wife said it. They over in Africa testing it right now. I've seen 2-3 articles that I had to double check, cross-reference. They started the testing of the vaccine in Africa. Why in Africa? Why do we got to be the first people tested? Test it on your own self. Test it on your children. I don't know, but why you got to test it on us? That to me raises red flags. And you have to look at this. It's just like a relationship. You have to look at the red flags of the situation. I'm not, if it's so contagious, I'm missing comments. I don't think that, if it's so contagious, why aren't the homeless population getting sick? Exactly. Where they can stay in quarantine for 14 days. They don't. They don't have any outside sanitation centers. They don't. They're not sanitizing the streets at night like they over there overseas. You know, they had places that were showing they were using drones to sanitize their streets and all that kind of stuff at night. The United States ain't did none of that. And it says they can't walk up to a test. They have to be in a car. So, and that's very true. That's also, they had articles regarding that the areas, only the cities that quote unquote open back up are recording higher number in cases, but not the cities that have been holding these mass protests. So it's like, if it's not spreading there, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot of questioning behind it. I just ask people to use common sense. Like, to me, I like my personal space, so I don't want nobody all up in my bubble anyway. I'm not just touching a whole bunch of things. I carry sanitizer even before this, you know what I'm saying? I wash my hands frequently. Like, that's just being the person that I am. I know cleanliness is next to godliness, you know what I'm saying? So that's just the person that I am anyway. Because the thing about it is, the same things that stop you from getting the flu, the same things that stop you from getting a common cold, the same things that stop you from getting pneumonia are the same things that's going to stop you from getting corona. Point blank, period. You know, when you look at the symptoms of it, when you look at just what it is and everything like that, like I just tell our people to use common sense and don't fall into the trap of the fear agenda. Like, don't just let it is comparative to being prosecuted for spreading a deadly disease willingly and knowledgeably. Most people, unfortunately, are not aware of the period when they are contagious, so they are willingly spreading the virus by neglecting to wear a face mask. If it is of no protection, then why bother to cover your mouth when you sneeze, which was customary before COVID? Okay, so let's see. You said okay, so you're saying that it is comparable to saying that if I had AIDS and I willingly went out and had intercourse with 2-3 people without disclosing to them that I had AIDS, then I am knowingly spreading the disease. But knowingly spreading the disease says that you know you have the disease. The CDC said that you could be a carrier of the disease and not have any symptoms, not have any, you know what I'm saying, like anything like that. So you are not aware that you have COVID. Again, with the face mask on the box says it does not prevent the spread of coronavirus. That is on the box. They have the thing about the cloth mask. I mean, I said it earlier. I gotta go and break in a minute anyway, so I guess I'll let you guys ponder on it. But if a fart can escape through the fabric of your clothes, what is stopping the virus from escaping through the fabric of the mask if you're using a cloth mask? You know what I'm saying? Like, those are just common sense questions that I ask, and I feel like that we should be asking as well. The numbers say we lose around 188,000 people in a normal flu season, which is dangerous for people with pre-existing condition. We lose about 7,000 people daily. Before COVID, they were dying from cancer, heart attacks, strokes, cars, wrecks, shootings, but now everything is COVID. And that was another point that I was trying to make too, that with a lot of things with the whole propaganda and stuff around COVID-19 is that even if you have anything else, you are being ignored and neglected in the hospital because they're passing everything off as COVID-19 for the funding. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nurses that have quit, that have came out publicly and quit because they said that they were trying to be coerced is that the right word? Coerced into manipulating data to raise up numbers of COVID cases. This is a fact. You know what I'm saying? These are things that's happening. So I understand what you're saying, sis. Like, Kimberly, I definitely do. I understand what you're saying, and I really feel a fart is gas. A virus is fluid matter. A virus is fluid. Okay. Does it not? If you sneeze, does it not? Oh, okay. All right. We can go with that. So like I was saying, I definitely understand, and like my thing of it is I'm not knocking anyone who feels that way, because they have a reasoning for feeling that way. If that's what sits in their spirit, then, and that's what your spirit is telling you to do, then do it. But don't judge no one else, because we have our own minds, or they have their own minds. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to say we, because I'm on the fence. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all see this, I got my mask, I gotta go to work, and I can't get in the work building without putting on the mask to walk to my desk. So I'm gonna put on the mask to walk to my desk, because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't even have jobs right now. So I'm not gonna lose mine over a mask. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not gonna do that. And I don't really go out to a lot of public places and things like that, because one thing that I do like about the order that Mayor Quinn Lucas put out, it says that if it says specifically if 6 feet social distancing is not feasible. So most of the places I go, 6 feet, people are within 6 feet of me. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm safe. I'm cool with that. You gotta look at the fine print of things and everything like that. But I do gotta take a quick, oh, my mic messed up. I do gotta take a quick break. I ask that you guys bear with me for these 90 seconds, because I do wanna come back and get into what it actually means of the defundment of a police department, because that's what sparked the whole thing going on in St. Louis. And then we're also gonna get into the 4th of July that's coming up on Saturday. So yeah, bear with me, and we're gonna pay a couple of bills, and I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. I appreciate you guys for bearing with us, letting us get our sponsors shipping everything out the way. Again, if you have a business or an event that you would like sponsored here on KUAW, make sure to send us an email at kuaw985@gmail.org. We do check our email, so definitely do that. So for the second half, I wanted to get into the defundment of the police department, because that is was going on in St. Louis. Earlier, we talked about the people that pulled the guns on the on the protesters and everything like that. And Minnesota actually has took the first steps into abolishing their police department. I want to read a couple of things from this for you guys, because it's a lot of question behind what does that actually mean to defund the police department. I know myself personally, I was just questioning, like thinking, what does that mean if we're saying that we want to defund the police department, right? And so, because that's what a lot of cities are pushing for, a lot of these protesters are pushing for, is like they want to defund the police department. Well, Minneapolis, I'm sorry, the city of Minneapolis actually went a step further, and not to just defund, but to abolish. Okay, and so I was reading this article because I wanted to see, what would they put in place of it, because I feel like, and here's my thing. Okay, when it comes to the police department, the foundation of the police department was Europeans licensed to capture runaway slaves. They were looking for runaway slaves. Their little stars and everything like that. This is a fact. You can look this up. You can research this. They started off as a slave patrol. And they as the times transitioned, the police department transitioned with times, not necessarily with the different mentality, though, as we can see clear as day of what's going on today. That's always been going on, but it's going on right in front of our faces here with the times that we're in now, with all the police brutality, y'all know what I'm trying to say, against us and our people. So it hasn't really changed much. Just the name and the face of it has changed. And so Minneapolis decided that if this in their bill thing that what they're proposing to abolish the police department, it would be replaced with a Department of Community Safety and Violence Prevention. And I was wondering if these people would, like, if they would be they would consist of peace officers instead of police officers. They will be called peace officers, and to ensure public safety through a holistic public health oriented approach. I feel like this could work. And the reason that I feel like this could work is because other countries like Denmark and all them type of places, their police do not carry guns and things like that. You see them on bikes, you know what I'm saying? You see them on flashlights and everything like that. And they don't have riot gear and tanks and all this other kind of stuff, SWAT teams and things like that. They don't have all those type of things or whatever. And yet they have less violence than the United States. So the police department is not really working for us. The police department is not doing what the police department should be doing, and that is to protect and serve. But the thing about the police department not doing what it's supposed to be doing, and that's protecting and serving the community, goes back to the foundation of what the police department was established to do and be in the creation here in the United States of America. So I definitely agree with, we need to dismantle and rebuild the entire system, the entire department. It needs to be broken down and rebuilt. People will fight this. People will fight it. They definitely are going to fight it. But again, we are the people. So that's where your local votes come in. And at the end of the day, because if we voted in, they don't have no choice. If it gets on that ballot, now they can try to stop it from getting on the ballot, but if it gets on that ballot and the people decide that this is what's going to happen, then that's just what's going to happen, because that's the way law works. And I don't care if they say that it don't work, No, you got to try it. You got to believe it. You got to have faith in it that it's going to do what it's meant to do. And I'll post the article, you know what I'm saying, on my Facebook page, so you guys can go back and read it for yourselves, what's going on here in Minneapolis, which it wouldn't take effect. It wouldn't actually start going into effect until after their local elections in November, So this is just the first steps into even getting it on the ballot, and it passed 12-0 vote. Like, it was unanimous. So I mean, we say that people will fight it, but Minneapolis is with it. You know what I'm saying? Like the people in their office, I did read at the bottom, way bottom of, which is very surprising for me, but I read at the very bottom of the article that the mayor actually doesn't agree with it, and that he does have the power to veto it. So we will see what happens. We have to, keep our eye on what that is that will look like, I wanted to get into the 4th of July, but there's really not, we ain't celebrating the 4th of July this year. A lot of people don't understand what the 4th of July is, why we wouldn't celebrate it or anything like that. But I want to talk about what happened to Young Legend, okay? Because we got all these things, we protesting Black Lives Matter and all this other kind of stuff, in which you see a lot of people that say, oh, where's Black Lives Matter when it comes to black on black crime, which black on black crime is not a thing. Because no one is out here. I have no plans on Friday. Y'all, Friday is not the 4th of July. The 4th of July is Saturday. It's Saturday. No, I'm just saying, but the 4th of July is Saturday, y'all. So yeah, so they say, because we say black on black crime, but no one in my humble, very humble and researched and, you know what I'm saying, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but opinion, I don't believe that our people are out here killing our people because they're black. When we say Black Lives Matter, that's saying do not just kill me or prosecute me or judge me because of the hue of my skin. I don't believe that our people are out here killing each other because, oh, he's the same hue as me. Bop, 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 bop. No. Crime happens in all communities. You know what I'm saying? To say that there shouldn't be any black on black crime is to say that there shouldn't be any crime, period. You know what I'm saying? And we know that we don't live in a world to where there's no crime. The whole foundation of the United States is built on a crime. This whole holiday that y'all want to go out and celebrate was built on crime. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about it is like Saturday, that day either. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't really, and I made a post and it was talking about, you know what I'm saying, how the ideal of black on black crime was ideal programmed into us by Europeans to make us turn on each other and view each other, and it's like it falls in under oppression. And another that was something, it falls, like, you know what I'm saying, under this like an oppression method or whatever, because it takes the pressure off of racism and it turns it towards nature, program nature at that. You know what I'm saying? So because our people have been programmed to be the people that they are, the Negroes, I can say Negroes, right? Okay, Negroes is programmed. That is a programmed people. You know what I'm saying? They are programmed to act a certain way, to dress a certain way, to do certain things or whatever. They tried to change us into Negroes, and a lot of us fought against it, which I'm so proud of it, but a lot of us fell short to it, you know? And so then these police officers out here killing these young men's daddies, and then are putting them in jail, modern day slavery, and then they want to say, oh, they like this because they ain't had no daddy or they ain't had no father. It's a lot of things that go on into the things that they are, but they programmed into it by the music, by the things that they listen to, by the things they watch on TV, all these things. And who controls those things? Europeans do. So I'm gonna answer that for y'all. So, and I'm not trying to turn us into a victimized people or anything like that, but truth is truth. You know what I'm saying? We don't own radio stations. We don't own record labels. We don't own not the major record labels. We don't own media channels. We don't own news outlets. We don't own newspapers and things like that. The only Asiatic so-called black person owned magazine is Ebony Magazine. You know what I'm saying? So we don't own these type of things that most of our people, our youth, gravitate to. So that's what I mean by they're programmed by the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? Because they are the ones that control those things. So we control what we do. We control whether we allow our children to engage in these type of things or whatever, and most of us do. So we talk about I don't want to put that in a sense on black crime. Now, our people do need to realize that we are a part of a whole, and we need to look at each other as our brothers and sisters. We're too busy out here fighting an oppressor to have to be fighting each other. Now, a lot of this stuff is senseless. This little young life, he was 4 years old. I'm talking about he survived heart surgery just I believe it was just like a couple of weeks or a couple of months before this even took place. You know what I'm saying? He's been diagnosed with a heart condition his whole entire life. He has fought just to be sleeping and lose his life behind some nonsense. Behind the home that he lives in, getting shot up. Like, my thing of it is, if that's who you want to be a man about yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all remember when they had the mobsters or whatever. Television and music don't teach me manners. My parents did. Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. I definitely do. But this generation of parents ain't that generation of parents. This generation of parents not even the generation of parents that I had. Huh? They're friends. Yeah, they not trying to be your parents. They want to be your friends. They think it's cute for their little son to be throwing up the middle finger, sagging clothes, humping little girls. You know what I'm saying? They think all that stuff is cute. They think it's cute for their little daughter to be twerking out here running around half naked looking like a grown woman instead of a baby. You know what I'm saying? They think it's cute for these little girls to be walking around with a head full of weave instead of ponytails and balls, how we used to do. So I definitely understand that. But in this day and age, this is a technology driven age. They know how to work cell phones by the age of 2. They know how to work cell phones before they can even talk. You know what I'm saying? They know how to work YouTube. They know how to work computers. They work computers. They know how to work computers better than most elders. You know what I'm saying? They be teaching their grandma how to work the computer. They too. So they are being taught by television and music. That is where they getting their programming from. You know what I'm saying? Because they not getting what we got at home. They not getting the manners. They not getting the yes sir, no sir. Even when it comes to manners, we was talking about just young kids calling their auntie and uncle auntie and uncle. They don't even call their auntie and uncle. They call their aunties and uncles by their names. We used to get in trouble for that. If I went up to my Aunt Pam and I said, "Hey Pam," she would have looked at me like, "Who you talking to?" Or she would have ignored me like she didn't hear me say anything. You couldn't talk to her without putting the auntie on front of it because that's out of respect. But children these days don't get that same type of raising. And we got to do better than that on our part too, because that is something. Parenting is something that should be taught, like even in your faith, in your church and everything, whatever it is that you go to, your temple, your mass, your church, all these type of things. Those things should be teaching these type of skills or whatever to parents or whatever, so that they are raising their children with manners and respect for their elders and things like that, so we don't have young men out here going up because they got beat up or something like that, going thinking they can retaliate and shoot up a house, killing an innocent 4-year-old. And then my thing of it is now this young man, he has a son. His son is 1 year old. You know what I'm saying? So now you gonna be gone from your seed. You took someone else's seed or whatever, so now you're just creating a cycle. Now you're just creating a pattern. We gotta break that cycle. We had to break that cycle, and we got to do whatever it takes. We can't just wash our hands with this generation. We need to create more mentorships. All these men out here that claim that they real men and whatever it is that they want to be, they should be out here talking to these young men. However way that you can do it. Join, move, it's a lot of little groups out here. Tyrone, what's the group that the man foundation with the mentors? Yeah, males to men, or you know what I'm saying, things like that. Be involved out here, even if you don't got no children. Be involved in your nephews' lives and women, because the women out here just as bad as the men. The women out here getting killed and stuff just as much as the men. They out here doing they think they, you know what I'm saying? They out here doing the same thing or whatever. They need just as much mentorship as the next. But we got to do our part. The ones that knows, the ones that care. You know what I'm saying? And I really think that's more so of it. It ain't even more so just about knowing. It's about caring. Because a lot of people know, but they don't care. They don't care until it directly affects them. And that's because they're not looking at humanity as a whole. They're not looking at us as one. Some parents just want to make their children happy, not raise them. And that's definitely true. You know what I'm saying? They just want to, like they said, they just want to be their friend, you know? And it's like, that's not what we need. We don't need more friends out here. We need people that's raised with some manners and some respect for other human beings. Not just other human beings, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to... And I say we, but and then I'm just be clear. Like, I definitely am very involved in like my little sister's lives. I talk to them about everything. Any child that is around me, teenager, you know what I'm saying? I be all up in a business, like, cause my mom used to tell me you ain't got no business until you own a business. You feel me? May she rest in peace. But you ain't got no business. When I used to be younger, and I used to be like, dang, mom, like you all in my business. You ain't got no business until you own a business. Okay? Until then, you ain't got no business. And that's the same approach we need to have out here. That's the same approach we need to have out here with these children, these teenagers and everything. Stop letting them think that they grown. Stop putting them out at the age of 18. That's partially our fault too, because we fell into the dilemma of putting on to them that they are grown at the age of 18, 16 years old. Shoot, it was this one video of mama and her son, you know, because some women get kind of fed up with their teenage sons or whatever, and they feel like they don't know how to handle them or whatever. You can't just wash your hands with your own son. That's your seed. That's your responsibility. Get them into a mentorship program. Do whatever you got to do to straighten them out. I don't care what you got to do, but you can't just wash your hands with them and throw them out to society. That's how we end up with these little boys that run around here shooting up houses. You know what I'm saying? And my thing of it is, oh, that's where I was going. They out here, they want to be so gangster and everything like that or whatever. That wasn't even what gangsters did. Gangsters didn't kill children, women and children. Women and children was always off limits. You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't out there hiding behind anything that they was doing. I done watched enough movies and did enough research on things and stuff that was going on down in Miami. They walking up right to you, daylight in your car, anything like that, catching you coming out of a store. When they hit their target. Y'all out here just shooting anybody. Y'all just out here shooting anybody anybody in the way. You know what I'm saying? You just in here shooting through walls. How the heck you even know who you shooting at? You just shooting at an apartment building. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that, like you're not thinking. They not thinking. And then the thing about it is what even gives you a reason to ever think that it's okay to just, man, look, it's a lot of things, a lot of conversations that needs to be had, you know, because this stuff was really, really unfortunate. You know, the little boy, my heart goes out to his parents, you know, just because I just couldn't imagine, you know what I'm saying? I've lost a child before, so I just couldn't imagine, like, you know, just having this time with your child and it's just taken away from you, just how easily it's just taken away from you, especially with something that, you know, you didn't really have no control over. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just have to accept it. That's a lot of pain to have to go through. That's very traumatic. And then, like, this little boy, he was 4 years old. You feel me? So he got cousins. He got brothers and sisters. Like, he didn't establish relationships with people that's going to be wondering, like, hey, where's Legend? You know what I'm saying? Where is he at? You know, this is the PTSD that our people suffer from. This is what they talk about, our mentalities and how they grow up into be, you know, 14, 15 years old that don't have no perspective of life. You know what I'm saying? No, like, just concern of life. No, they don't care about life, you know? So it's like these are the type of PTSD things that raise these children into being who they grow up to be, to where the same people that we talking about are trying to get them not to be or whatever. But that's the type of PTSD that we go to. So my heart goes out in my prayers and just vibes and everything just goes out to that family, anyone around that family, because your family ain't just your immediate family. You affect everyone that your family sometimes who you choose to be your family. So you got godparents, you got aunties, you got uncles, you got cousins, you got friends, like anybody affected. My heart just goes out to you, and I just hope that, you know, just pray for peace and understanding in your heart. You know what I'm saying? And I just pray that we could do better as humanity. I pray that we get to a better space. I know that we will get to a better space. You know what I'm saying? And I just hope it's sooner than later. So real quick, you are children, one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection, therefore, unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relations that bonded you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brothers in adversity, assist him. If thy sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy Father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Peace.